Welcome to Knicks Buzz. Joining me, the one and only Bill Pidto. How are you, Bill?
I'm fine. Good day, mate. How'd
um,
that sound?
oh, you did great. You
Good.
did great. We could do some voiceover for you.
So I have a question. Being in Australia, right, and the
Yep.
game starts at 7:30 U.S. time. How do you watch it?
League Pass. I think
No, but are you
Australia.
up at like what time's it when it's 7 o'clock at night in U.S.? What time is it where you are?
Oh, it's about midday, middle of the day.
So
So,
you watch the Knicks in the middle of the day?
yep, always, never fail. 30-year Nick fan, Bill. Um, but I wanted to ask you, since we're on that topic, always a Nick. I want to take people behind the scenes a little bit. You know, the MSG, the Knicks bill behind the MSG bill. True story. It was about 7 years ago. I was scrolling the trade forums on Real GM, and I see none other than Bill Pidto on there. Is that a true story?
I was traded, you mean? I don't get it.
You were you were on the forums, sort of looking at the trades, and with all the fans.
It's
Um,
possible. I don't know. I mean, I try to interact now a lot on Twitter with fans, but I don't know 7 years ago what I would have been doing. I don't remember what the
yeah.
trade was.
Okay. No, it was just general trades.
No, but I would
Um,
say overall, with social media, one of the things about social media that has changed since I've been in this business, and I've been at it a while now, is you have an ability to interact directly with the people that watch you. And I think that's the biggest advantage of social media for those of us that do what I do for a living.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Um, with that said, Bill, how did you become a Knicks fan?
So I'm an original New Yorker. First 7 years of my life, I lived in Manhattan. This was when the Knicks were championship teams. And when you're a little boy in Manhattan and the Knicks are winning the way they were winning, you become a Knick fan very quickly. And that was an era when people like my mom were into it because of Clyde Frazier was a transcendent superstar, meaning that people that were not necessarily basketball fans loved Clyde Frazier. My mom loved him because she always used to say he never breaks a sweat, or at least never looks like he breaks a sweat. So that's how it began. We moved west when I was 7 to California, but my whole family is basically from the New York area, cousins, aunts, etc. The Knicks are like our team, and to have this job is really an amazing thing.
Yep, yep, definitely. And 2021, 2022 season, Bill, a lot of expectations on the Knicks after a successful season last season. How have you seen the season play out so far?
Well, it's been up and down. Guys in and out of the lineup with COVID, etc. Trying to add the new pieces of Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker, and we all know Walker has been up and down with his bad knee. But if you look at the overall record, and that's really all that matters, through 41 games as we tape this year, the Knicks are 20 and 21. Through 41 games last year, they were 20 and 21. But of key significance here, last year, they had already acquired Derrick Rose at this point. And of course, Derrick Rose is out. So maybe it will rival last year when they finished 16 and 4. If Rose comes back and is healthy, he'll help them this year the way he did last year.
Yep, definitely. Of course, the trade deadline's around the corner. If there's any particular need that this team may have, is there anything that you can see?
I think that the problem overall with this roster over the years has been the need for a point guard, not a Kemba Walker who can help, but someone who is young and healthy and can break down the defense. It seems to me that Emmanuel Quickly is really well suited, and Tom Thibodeau seems to use him better off the bench. They need a top flight point guard, and obviously that's going to be tough to get. Top flight point guard that can break down the defense on his own. RJ of late has been doing a great job going to the basket. They don't have a lot of guys, and Randall, as effective as he can be, is not of this ilk either. They have very few guys who, with the ball in their hand, can make a move and break down the defender in a one-on-one situation. And that's a big, big thing that I hope that they can get here at some point, whether it be at the trade deadline or in the offseason.
Yep, absolutely. You and me both. RJ Barrett, Bill, you interviewed him after he was drafted. Where do you sit with him now in terms of his ceiling? Do you think it's exactly the same, the hype coming out?
You know, it's amazing. We talk about this a lot. You know, the guys I work with were obviously very passionate, and then the minute we think that RJ is not going to necessarily be a superstar, he puts together games where he is a superstar. So you know, uh,
It's
got
day
to
to
remember
day.
he's only 21. When he goes to the basket consistently and with force, great things happen. I mean, the other night, as we taped this last night, 31 points against the Spurs. His last 8 games, he's averaging over 20. And this was after a stretch when he couldn't put the ball in the ocean. So, he's finding his way. He's really young. Maybe we all need to be very patient with him. But the last handful of games, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of the rest of the young squad, the building blocks on this team, who do you see that is a part of the future?
Well, quickly to me, I think is an ideal player off the bench. He's an ideal second unit player. It looks like Grimes has a bright future because not only does he defend, but he's a very good shooter. So he fits a new designation that's so important of the 3 and D player. I've liked Jericho Sims. Nerlens Noel has been erratic. He hasn't been healthy. He hasn't been able to play all the time. Mitchell Robinson may have capped out in terms of how far he's going to go. I think Sims has a bright future potentially. Very active, very athletic. So I would say quickly Sims, Grimes, Obi Toppin. I don't know at this point is ever going to be an impact player in terms of being able to start because he's somewhat limited in terms of what he can do with the ball. But I tell you what, in a second unit fast break situation, Obi Toppin seems to be very effective. So, there's a lot of young talent. The team's got a ton of depth, and and that's helped him here.
Yeah. Obi is definitely a thriving young player with plenty of upside. But Tom Thibodeau, Bill, a lot of Knick fans have always wanted somebody to lead this team who has roots in New York, understands what it's like in the city, to what's required to succeed. Second year, obviously, the first year went a dream. Tom Thibodeau, is he the right man to lead this team to the next championship in your eyes?
I'm sorry, I missed who was a player.
Tom Thibodeau.
Oh, as a coach?
Is he the right coach? Yep,
Yeah,
to
I
lead.
think he's. I'm sorry, I missed the first part of that. I think absolutely. He gets more from less. Last year was fantastic. They've struggled a bit this year, but I think he is a guy that people play hard for. I really, really do. And it was a revelation last year during the pandemic that this team did what it did, and hopefully they can keep it forward, keep it going forward. I think he's a really good coach. He's a very good defensive coach, and I think he more than anything else does a great job motivating his players.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fans, Bill, are spoiled with the best coverage, MSG Networks, for the best fans in the world. What is it like working, as a Knick fan, as a host for the broadcast?
Well, as I mentioned, given my background, it's a dream come true. I sometimes can't believe that during home games I'm hosting at Madison Square Garden, and Wally Zerbiak and I put a segment up on the scoreboard. So that's incredible. It's been a great experience. I work with a great crew. I work with Mike Breen, who's a Hall of Famer, Clyde Frazier, Hall of Famer, Alan Hahn, Wally Zerbiak, Monica McNutt. Hopefully, it comes across how much fun we have. And we're in agony. I take I take these games. Oh, if you only saw us watching these games in the green room, we're invested, and it's great to be invested.
Well, it comes across, it's a special, special team. And before I leave you, Bill, I'm going to throw some quick fire 5 rapid questions at you. Are you ready?
Yep, go ahead.
Yep. If you could be courtside at any Knicks game in the past, which game would you want to be at?
I would have loved to have been there during the championship years. I was just a very little boy at the time, but I would have loved to have been courtside during that era when they were the toast of New York. They were the toast of New York among basketball fans and non-basketball fans.
Yep. What is your favorite Knicks uniform from what year?
I'm not great with that, to be honest. I don't know. Has it even evolved that much? I mean, I like their basic uniform now. I like how they look now.
Yep. Classic. I know who your most favorite Knick is. the one and only Walt Clyde Frazier. So, who is your most underrated Nick?
Wow, that's a tough question. That's a tough question. What era are we talking? Back in the championship days or in
yeah,
the history of the franchise?
the history. Yeah, so it could be someone underappreciated in your eyes.
When you pose that question, who did you think?
I said Jamal Crawford. I think it was
Yeah.
a great player in that era. Fun to watch for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm gonna say Jerry Lucas. Now you got to be a historian, obviously, to know, but he was vital to that second championship. And when we talk about the group, it's always Clyde and Earl Monroe and Bradley, DeBusschere, and Reed, and deservedly so. But Jerry Lucas was key.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your favorite overall Nick moment to you?
My favorite overall Nick moment to this point since I've been there. Well, you know what? I just take you back to last year when they won the playoff game. They won a home playoff game against the Hawks, and I don't know if you're familiar with New York City, but our studio is on 7th Avenue, and outside of 7th Avenue, it was so bonkers that I don't think anybody could drive down the street. You can see into our studio from the window outside, and fans were absolutely bonkers. It was just fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic, and hopefully there's more. I think they got a shot. That the East is very even. There's a lot of parity. Hopefully they can sneak in again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, speaking to some beat writers, and some of those were saying it's their career highlight being there at the game one. And Bill, the last question I'll throw at you is the toughest of them all. What year will the Knicks win their next championship?
2022. I don't know. I can't. Let's say within 5 years. How's that? Before 2030. How's that?
Hey, that's good, because I'm getting grey by the day. But I really appreciate your time, Bill, as always. And from the fans, thank you for the best coverage in the NBA. And it's a great team, and we really appreciate you.
Well, it's a real privilege to be on with you. Thank you much. Thank you so much for the invite. And if you ever want to do it again, let me know.
Yep, as always. Thanks, Bill.
Okay, we'll see you later.
All right. See you later, Bill.
Okay, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Bill Pidto, MSG Networks. Stay locked in. Knicks buzz. The streets are buzzing. And I'll see you on the next one. Salute.